The deadline might have been delayed by a month, but a whole lot of people still are waiting till the last minute to do their taxes. And now the clock is ticking toward midnight.
The procrastinators. And as that deadline looms, the IRS is sounding the alarm on a different concern. The agency says $1 trillion in tax money went uncollected last year. And in recent years, audits and enforcement have plummeted, especially for the wealthy. News Nation's Joe Khalil is live for us in Washington, D.C. tonight to explain. Joe.
Yeah, when we think of the IRS, we typically don't think of them as David. We think of them as the Goliath, right? But in the past 10 years or so, the IRS says that their budget has been cut by about a quarter. They've lost a lot of the agents that used to do enforcement, especially on powerful people and corporations. They're not nearly seeing the number of audits that they used to see. And the data now and the tax revenue coming in certainly reflects that. The Mississippi Delta, home to some of the poorest communities in the country, and its population is more likely to be audited than anywhere else in the U.S., according to IRS data analyzed by ProPublica.
I think we all just kind of walk around with an innate fear of the IRS.
Most Americans never get the dreaded "you're being audited" letter, but those who do are most likely remarkably rich or live in poverty. Attorney Ben Wilkerson represents the latter group.
For whatever reason, don't have the time or the resources or just the will to fight back against the IRS.
Many there qualify for what's known as the Earned Income Tax Credit, a break for low-income workers. The program gets extra scrutiny from the IRS. And while most who benefit don't have the money to fight the government,
on the other hand, wealthy and big corporations have access to very sophisticated tax lawyers and tax advisors.
Janet Holzblatt with the Tax Policy Center says corporations are nearly 4 times as likely to fight back and win against the IRS than regular earners.
The IRS is kind of a boogeyman, right? But for the very rich and for corporations, the IRS is afraid of them.
All told, the government is losing an estimated $1 trillion in unpaid taxes every year, according to the IRS commissioner. That's enough to cover the entire budget deficit for 2019, the last pre-pandemic year. One reason for the gap in unpaid taxes? Dramatic cuts to the IRS. The number of agents is down 43% in the last 10 years, according to a study by Syracuse University. As a result, while the number of millionaires in the U.S. has doubled since 2012, the number of millionaires audited decreased by 72%. And it's the same pattern for big business. In 2012, 93% of major corporations were audited, compared to just 38% last year. In a statement to News Nation, IRS Commissioner Chuck Rettig says his agency needs help. Quote, the IRS requires more resources to conduct investigations into underreported income and to pursue high-income taxpayers who evade their tax liability through complex schemes. Now, President Biden's asking Congress for $80 billion to beef up enforcement. It's a proposal with bipartisan support on Capitol Hill.
1% of the taxpayers, 36% of the unpaid taxes. Most Americans pay what they owe, meaning that they cover for the tax cheats through higher taxes, fewer public services.
I'm certainly open to increasing the IRS's budget to allow the agency to pursue those who are avoiding paying their taxes.
So you just heard there a Democrat and a Republican both at least support the idea in theory. The Biden administration, as we mentioned, floated the number of $80 billion as an investment. Republicans were concerned a couple of years ago that the IRS was unfairly looking into some conservative nonprofits. So from Republicans we've heard from, they want to make sure that's not happening before they would commit to making that investment. But certainly the idea does have bipartisan support. Marnie?
Joe, and before we let you go, I want to talk about the child tax credit. About 39 million Americans set to receive that monthly payment for their kids starting July 15th. What's most important for parents to know tonight?
So what you would basically receive right into your account through direct deposit for most people would be a $300 check per month for children who are under 6 years old, and a $250 check after that for older children. It's important to know that that goes up through December and then it ends. Democrats are pushing to make that more permanent. They wanted to extend it through 2025. Doing that is actually in part of the infrastructure package that the White House has introduced. So if that becomes law, this package for children would be extended. Democrats are also talking about potentially extending it by itself, but we'll have to see if they can get bipartisan support for that. Marnie.
All right, Joe Cleo live in D.C. Thank you.